Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and everywhere you find fine podcasts. And if you're listening to us right now on iTunes, please go and leave a 5-star review. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, this episode is brought to you by Manscaped. They are the best in below the waist trimming with precision engineered tools for your family jewels. They just launched in the UK, so don't let where you live stop you from getting in on these wonderful products. It really helps cut down on any kind of awkward nicks and cuts down there. You know what I mean? It's November. It's time to get your junk out of quarantine, get your junk out of lockdown, shave those bad boys up. Do you know what I mean? Get them looking nice. I know I appreciate it. I got the lawnmower from my boyfriend and it worked really well for him. It made his junk look so much bigger. It's really quality too. The battery lasts up to 90 minutes. It comes with a great recharging station and it has a cutting edge ceramic blade and will reduce any awkward grooming accidents. It's also waterproof, which always helps. If you're a dude, give this a try. Go to manscaped.com, use the code CMP for 20% off plus free shipping. They also have a weed whacker, which is really good for ear and nose hair. They've got tons of great lotions and tonics too that aren't like, super girly. These are like manly products and it's quality and it's good to invest in yourself. So go to manscaped.com and use the code CMP to get 20% off of your entire order plus free shipping. It doesn't get better than that. Ladies, you know what I'm going to say. Get this for your man. Christmas is coming. Get that stocking stuffed. Be good to yourselves. Speaking of being good to yourselves, this episode is also brought to you by Cushy Dreams. Cushy Dreams offers a full lineup of premium smokable CBD. They specialize in extraordinary CBD-rich hemp flower, aka bud, in cans, and also pre-roll CBD joints. I really love it because it's helped me so much with my anxiety. I'm a person who would take like Adderall every day, but it would make me sort of manic and dehydrated and weird. And this stuff is all natural. They do a really good job. They're really quality. It helps me sleep. It's helped me get through a lot of the squirrely 2020 times. And it's good. And you don't get high from it. It's all the health benefits of CBD. Without getting high. There's under 0.3% of THC in there. It's cannabis that ships directly to you and it's legal in all 50 states. Join the men and women who are sick of vapes and gummies and want to smoke their CBD. It's 100% hand trimmed, never machine trimmed. The pre-rolled joints are really nice too if you're not somebody who likes to, smoke out of a bowl or a piece or something. And best of all, it's grown here in the USA. And they come in specific indica sativa blends like energy, hustle, relax, dream, create. I'm such a big fan because they're different strains based on what you need help with, what you're struggling with. So go to cushydreams.com, KUSHY, get your high quality CBD bud and start smoking, baby. Use the promo code CMP or get 20% off every order, not just your first, every order. And get that free shipping. I'm so excited to have this guy on the show today. I discovered his website a couple weeks ago, found him on Instagram, immediately reached out because I was so excited to just get him on and have him explain the things that he has learned and found. He is a Zen Buddhist. It's Ryushin Malone. Yay.
Hey, everybody.
How are you?
What's up, Chrissy? Good. Very good.
I'm excited to have you here. How did you get into, I guess we're going to talk about how you solved the Nazca Lines, and I know that you're into, you're a conspiracy theory guy. So I know that a lot of our listeners are going to be interested to hear anything you have to say because we have a lot of free thinkers that are fans. And, from what I know, the Nazca Lines are these pre-Columbian geoglyphs they're etched into earth. It's almost like these, it's basically like you're taking something that you see in the earth and you're making sense of it. And basically it's not accidental. It was perhaps put here, for another reason. The things we see in our world, in our physical space, have more meaning to them than perhaps we realized. But maybe you can get into how you got into this work. I'm very sloppy today, but what inspired you to look into?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the Nazca Lines, they're thousands of years old. They're lines in the middle of the desert that stretch for 138 miles in the middle of the Nazca Peru desert. So they were thought of as runways.
By who?
I think von Däniken. Von Däniken wrote the book Chariots of the Gods. And that was back in the 70s. He theorized that they were runways. And then there's also been theories of it being like waterways for water. Now what happened to me is that I printed out the map. There was a map put out by a historical society back in 1994. And I printed out the map in 2018 and circled the 3 main points. And I realized that it was Orion.
The constellation, which is, if most people know, it kind of, everyone has heard of Orion's belt for sure, which is like kind of the 4 stars and then like the line of 3 in the middle. So that's like the Orion's belt, basically.
That's correct, yes.
I'm just explaining in case... people probably like myself, I'm saying people that have no idea. I'm part of that group for sure.
It took me about a year to get the correct configuration of Orion in the correct orientation. What it is a 3-dimensional star map of the Orion Group's territory markings.
And what is the Orion Group?
So what it means is that 1, aliens are real. 2, they showed up and they drew their territory map on the planet Earth, which is, it basically means this is ours to the other extraterrestrials. That's what that means.
Like a marking, like graffiti, like a tag.
It's more like a tag. They're territory markings. They say this is ours, and it's to ward off other extraterrestrials. So it means that 1, aliens are real for sure, and that they come from Orion. And when you look at the map, you have to be standing behind Orion. So you have to be on the other side of the Orion star constellation, looking through Orion to our sun, Sol, which is dead smack in the middle of their territory map. And then behind the sun, our sun, Sol, are these 3 constellations, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. So that's all their territory. And that also told me not only that 1, aliens are real, 2, aliens are real and they come from Orion, 3, they have time travel. They have the ability to fold space and time and travel vast distances quickly. Because only if one of those stars in Orion's belt is about 1,000 light years from here, that would take 1,000 years traveling at the speed of light. It's insane. Wow. And
you get bored and turn around.
It's impossible. It's impossible to travel that distance at the speed of light. So, and not only they have there are hundreds of stars in that map, which only means one thing. They have time travel and the ability to fold space and time and travel through wormholes, black holes, whatever they're doing to travel faster than the speed of light. They're doing it.
So you're saying because there are...
Pretty crazy, right?
This is so crazy. Wait, so these markings that are in Peru basically is proof to you that not only aliens exist, but they are from Orion and they are tagging Earth as part of their territory. Now, what do you say to the people that are like, Ryushin, you're crazy. This could just be a coincidence.
That's nuts. Yeah. So, Stonehenge is also aligned to Orion. The Egyptian pyramids align to Orion. So I discovered the Nazi death marches in Nazi Germany in 1945 are in the shape of Orion. The deep underground military bases in the heart of America are also in the shape of Orion.
What do you say to people who say that that is also a coincidence?
That's just coincidental, right? Well, okay. So I looked up the Orion Group, and I'm like, okay, I know it's Orion. I looked up the Orion Group and discovered that the Orion Group is a satanic force who take over star systems. And I was like, really? A satanic force? It's like, that's funny because Pizzagate revealed this whole satanic elite, playing this satanic, crazy, adrenochrome harvesting, having sex with children, nothing's off limits world that we had no idea that these people are actually doing that stuff behind the scenes. And, walnut sauce and adrenochrome.
Right. We definitely, listeners are somewhat familiar with Pizzagate. So so you basically Googled the Orion Group and you found that it's actually a company.
Yeah. Well, it's not a company. If you look up the Alpha Draconian and the Orion Group, it comes up with information regarding that species of alien. And because I knew Orion was real for sure, because I saw the Nazca Line. The Nazca Lines are, it's just proof to me. It's proof that aliens are real and they come from Orion. So the only problem, the big problem is that half of the map is missing.
What do you mean? Like the other parts of the Orion constellation, or which part is missing?
Yeah, half of the map has been cut off. And I realized that it was because there's a balance in play. The balance between God and the devil. And it turns out that God and the devil are aliens.
How did you get there?
Sure. One, I connected the Codex Gigax. Do you know what that is?
No.
The Codex Gigax is written by a saint who drew an image of the devil, and it's a big book, and it has the image of the devil. Well, I connected that image of the devil to a Mayan creature who was sitting at the top of a pyramid eating human beings, and the other human beings were like having body parts in the baskets, like giving them and eating too. And I was like, that's the same fucking being.
Wait, so you're talking about you found some sort of art, like ancient art that depicted this?
It was a Mayan depiction of an alien sitting at the top of a pyramid eating human beings.
That's alarming to find.
Harvesting. So what I also discovered was the Nasca alien mummies. Are you familiar with them?
I have. When I was looking on your website, you had pictures of these
little
alien mummies, right? And like, of course, it's all like stuff that's not super public knowledge, I would imagine.
No, they've been hiding it for the past 3 years.
And they're basically like dead aliens that they found on Earth, and then quickly
they found in the desert.
That these aliens that died in the desert. Do they remember, or did they say which desert they found them in?
Yes, Nazca, Peru.
Okay. Oh, okay.
In one with the Nazca Lines. Isn't that funny?
All right. That is funny.
So, okay, they found 2 different species of alien beings in a cave. At first, they said it was a tomb, but it wasn't a tomb. It was a cave. So there were 4 or 5 bodies recovered, and they took x-rays of them, and I knew from the x-rays when I saw them when they were first released in 2017, I knew they were real from the x-rays. I could tell. You can't fake nature. And when I saw the x-rays, I knew they were real. It just so happens that a week later, I'm watching this Empower the Human on Netflix, and it was about an Egyptian, past, and I saw King Akhenaten sitting with Queen Nefertiti and the same alien species sitting with King Akhenaten. They were sitting in his lap.
Couldn't someone say to you, this is just art, that these are just drawings? You know what I mean? I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
It's the same species.
Because they have their heads are sort of like longer.
Yeah, but they're small. They're 2 foot tall alien beings. They were known as Aten in Egypt, and they were also known as the sun god, but they were also known as the one true God. And I think that that's God. I think that the Nazca alien mummies are God.
That they created us, you think?
Yes, and I believe that they originated from Sirius. And I get that information from the Dogon tribe. The Dogon tribe was a tribe in Africa who have headpieces of little tiny white beings on their heads that they wear. And they knew that the aliens the creator came from Sirius B, which was impossible to know that there was a dual star system in Sirius. So for them to know that information, they were given that information.
So what do you think? That like the aliens created us? What did they?
This is what happened. The aliens created, I think they've been tampering with us, and because they have time travel, that's what all UFOs are. They're time machines. So they're able to slip through time and adjust things. And I think that these creatures came here and they started messing with DNA of humans, traveling 1,000 years into the future, messing with them a little more, traveling 1,000 years into the future, and
see
doing
how it affected. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. They would do that. And they did it to build a workforce, a labor force. And I believe that's what our true purpose here was, to be a labor force for them. And what happened was other aliens showed up and they said, you know what? We're taking over this whole fucking show. And I believe that was the Orion Group, from the information that I found. But in Sumerian times, they have depictions of little tiny beings with their hands bound behind their back, and them being brought to other alien beings, bigger alien beings, where they're on their knees. And
is that
also
us?
There are these two species of aliens who've been warring over us, the God and the devil. So, but there are also other depictions of these beings standing on the little beings with their foot over them. So that told me that there's been a feud, a war over Earth and its resources, mainly us. We are the main resource on Earth. So, I discovered not only are we a slave source, but we're also a food source. And I discovered...
this sounds pretty crazy. Like you would think the Earth is full of animals, plants, all kinds of life. Why would, and first of all, these images, the depictions that you mentioned, can these be found? Like if somebody listening to us right now, could they go and Google or DuckDuckGo any of this stuff that you're talking about?
Yes. Most of the, I gathered all the information I possibly could. I had an encounter myself with aliens coming to me. So that's what got me involved. Huh?
When was that? So that's what inspired you to get into this.
I was sitting meditation. I was teaching Zen Buddhism in Bangor.
You're cutting out a little bit. You're cutting out a little bit. Yeah, tell me again what year it was.
So I was teaching Zen Buddhism. It was 2017. So I was sitting Zen Buddhism, teaching Zen Buddhism, and all of a sudden I felt a touch underneath my chin while sitting meditation, and it lifted my head up, and I looked down and I could see a being in front of me with big eyes, and it was translucent. I could see
during
through
a class, like you're teaching,
but I could make out a figure. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no one was there. It was just me.
Okay.
It was just me because no one was really interested in sitting meditation, especially in the middle of nowhere, but also because everybody's so overworked, intentionally overworked, that, you know, they take a Sunday off and they're like, yeah, I'm going to stay home. Thanks. I've been working all week. So, you know, it was very frustrating, you know, as far as teaching. But anyway, yeah, they showed up, and that one did that, and I was looking down and I saw another being step behind it, pop out with a metal rod about this long, with a quarter collar at the end of it, and it pressed it up against my neck, and it held it there for 2 seconds, and then it popped back behind the being and disappeared, and this other being dropped my head and let go, and then turned right and then disappeared. Like, they didn't say anything to me. They didn't, you know, it was like, I went home and I closed up everything about 5 minutes later. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to close up everything. I went home,
yeah, you
and
must
I'm
have
like,
shit your
oh
pants.
my fucking God, they're real. They're real.
Do you think it was because you meditate a lot, that you are able to connect with, I don't know, what's beyond, you know what I mean? Like, because I know like everything that has to do, you know, our social media, our jobs, our whole lives, I feel like keep us from opening up, you know, our chakras are clogged, most of our third eyes are shut.
I think this has been a big test, a big game. I think that these beings have been jumping in and out of people's lives to adjust things. And I think that at that point, they contacted me either to get a specimen or to adjust something in me, maybe.
What do you mean,
or
a
even
specimen?
placebo me. Oh, well, to take my DNA, to take my consciousness.
But could they take that? I mean, could you feel anything? Like, if they were going to take your DNA, how do you think they would do that?
Well, I mean, I have no idea. You know, their technology, it could be billions of years older than ours.
Wow.
So, you know, So after that experience, I went home and I freaked out because it was like, holy shit, this is crazy. They're real. And I started researching everything and came across mutilations. Excuse me, have you ever heard of mutilations?
So only through looking at your stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Cattle mutilations, right?
Yes, that people would find their cattle in the field, like weirdly mutilated, like weirdly injured. Some people would say, oh, well, that can happen because of bugs. That could happen because of other animals attacking them. But you don't think so?
So what's been going on is that they've been doing this to human beings as well. And we have 3 bodies that we've found that have been harvested. And that's what they're doing. They're harvesting human beings and cattle for food. They drink the blood because it's full of enzymes, but they also torture the victim for 45 minutes to an hour. And I believe it's exactly like the alien scene from Fire in the Sky.
Have you
ever seen that movie?
No, God, now I gotta watch
Walton?
it. No.
Yeah, Travis Walton's story. So, okay, his story is different than the movie in 1993. I think they released that movie in 1993. His story was totally different, and they changed it on purpose, I believe, to show the people what these aliens have been doing in secret to human beings for real. Because this needle comes down and goes right for the pineal gland inside the brain.
How do you know that this is what happens?
It made sense. It made sense that's what they were going after.
Because you would see pictures of bodies with the left eye missing, and then like
Yeah,
parts
right.
of the jaw
So
removed.
that's right. If you look at the girl, the image of the girl, you can see she was 19 years old when that happened, right? You can see her hair. She has about an inch of white hair coming out of her scalp, which told me that she was under extreme stress.
Whoa.
There was extreme stress of being tortured. And I believe what they do is that they go in with a tube into the stomach and they start slowly sucking it in. And they start sucking it in, the whole intestinal tract, which is 30 feet long. And while that's happening, the body is convulsing and producing this adrenaline. And while that's happening, there's a needle inside of the pineal gland collecting the adrenaline so it's pure before it goes into the bloodstream. And that's what they're doing.
Why would they do that? And which aliens are these?
That's how they roll.
Which aliens are these that do this?
I believe that the reptilians are under control by the Alpha Draconians. The Alpha Draconians are reptilians, big fucking lizards. That's what I call them, the BFLs.
And some folks have said like that people that believe in lizard people that this is a conspiracy theory, right? That there's lizard people that live among us. They shapeshift. You'll see videos online of they'll zoom in on somebody's eye and the pupil will get really like vertical for a moment.
I've seen a human being do that.
Really?
With
When?
my own eyes.
Where were you?
I was in Japan and I was living at a monastery in Japan, and there was this dude who showed up at the monastery, and he was he was so plain. Is such a weird person, right? And I saw him on the streets of Japan out in the city because we were allowed to go out into the city once a week or something like that. And I saw him there and I confronted him about something, and his eyes got like into the reptilian eyes.
Oof. Oh
like
my
cat's
God.
eyes, right? And he held me and I swear to God, I felt like being below him like this, like, oh, okay, yes, so sorry, sir.
That
like,
sounds scary.
It was fucking terrible. It was like, I felt like he pushed me down with that.
When did that happen? Was this before or after your alien experience?
That was before. On the streets of Japan, yeah, 2007.
Okay. Because I've heard
that was the only time that I've ever seen that before. And I was like, whoa, okay, what are you?
Yeah,
are you,
and I know that they've discussed, my friend Sam Tripoli has a podcast called Tinfoil Hat. I know they've explored the lizard people idea and that there's some, that they shapeshift and it's like, who are these group of people? They've entered into elite branches of politics in Hollywood. That's a whole other theory. And so you're saying that this is a group of aliens that have either mated with us or they've just tricked us into kind of being with us.
I believe that the serpent in the Garden of Eden mated with Eve and created a totally different species other than human. I think that that's what that sin was, the apple, the knowledge. I think that was what it meant. They created another species of human beings that had more reptilian in them. See, we have reptilian in us already. Like we have a primal part of the brain that is reptilian.
Really? I always thought I looked good in green because of my red hair, but maybe there's another reason.
So, all right. So the Alpha Draconian are the top. They use the Orion Group to go into, places like Earth and set up this whole thing behind politics and all that. And they're all, working behind the scenes. And they use the Greys to come here and abduct people to do the harvesting.
Who are the Greys?
It's a hierarchy. The Greys I believe the Greys are cousins to the Zeta Reticuli. And I believe that the Zeta Reticuli, these people from Zeta Reticula went out exploring and were captured by the Orion Group. And they have been genetically altered over, thousands of years to be the slave source. So let me bring it back down into more reality. This is more hearsay, but because I solved the Nazca Lines and revealed the Orion Group is real for sure, that means that probably the Alpha Draconian are real. But let me take a step back, okay? Adrenochrome harvesting. Who else adrenochrome harvests? What, the elite?
Yep.
So
yeah, we learned about that with Epstein. Yeah.
That's right. Epstein, with John Podesta and his walnut sauce.
The whole Pizzagate code. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's been their big secret. And all these Hollywood celebrities are looking real old all of a sudden, because Trump put a damper on that situation. And so it's crazy information. I know. I'm trying to.
It is crazy information, and I'm with you on a lot of it. I'm just thinking of the people that are listening. Going, what?
That's the great. I know, right? Me too. Me too. Trust me. I hate this because of that. I hate it. I want nothing to do with this shit anymore. I'm so pissed off because I'm sitting here like, look, I solved the fucking Nazca Lines for years, and one, either you don't believe me, two, they know and have totally ignored me, like all of ancient astronaut alien theorists with the Ancient Astronaut show and ufologists all over. I've written 1 million people. No one wrote me back.
Wow, that's frustrating.
Why? So I believe it's because I'm not published yet. So we're going to find out soon if that's the whole thing, if that's what they're waiting for. Are they waiting for me to publish and then for sure it's mine? So anyway, adrenochrome is the great connect between the aliens and the elite. Now, there are mass graves all over the world from ancient times of child sacrifice. And that's what they were doing at Stonehenge. They were sacrificing human beings
to their gods, or their AKA gods, the aliens.
The aliens, yeah. So these aliens were showing up here not in goodwill, not spreading goodwill, but they're showing up going, "And what do you guys got to eat around here?" And that's how this went. And that's who the gods really are.
Couldn't we make them like a nice roast or something, or some fried chicken? Like, why?
They don't eat like that.
What do the aliens eat? Do you have any idea besides adrenochrome?
Blood. They drink the blood.
So it's like what, high calories, and it's got minerals in it.
Well, it's got a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, adrenochrome's in there, but there's a whole, like, adrenaline, a bunch of other stuff like enzymes are in the blood. That's really, it's I don't know. It's how they eat.
Wow.
They also eat organs like the eyes, the heart, everything internally, the organs. So what happened was, I'm looking through all this UFO shit going, okay, we have an hour's worth of UFOs from back, Nazi UFOs in the Nazis, right? And I'm like, hey, I just happen to have an idea, like, wow, what if they traded the Jewish people for technology, like they did an adrenochrome harvest?
Like, if they are, if the aliens do want humans, right, to snack on or whatever, to eat, right. And but there's already this like eugenics stuff going on at the time. Like you already have a group of people that's like obsessed with this idea of like a master race. Right. They probably figured, that's okay, why. 2 birds, 1 stone. We'll clean up our human race and also appease the aliens.
And I believe so what happened was, I realized, why just kill them when you can kill them and trade for technology? And the technology was wild.
How do you think that the aliens and human beings, how was that discussion even brought about? Do you know what I mean? I imagine we don't speak alien and they don't speak.
Well, actually, they speak in sign language.
Okay. Wow.
Have you ever seen Majestic Ape? Majestic Ape is what's his name? James Elefantis.
Oh, okay.
That code. He
Wow.
speaks in sign language. And so when I saw him speaking like that, I knew that that's how they were probably communicating with these beings. Other than that, I think that the beings are so, far advanced that they use telepathy to, so they're using their technology to communicate with us. But what I've heard was that there was a very powerful woman who was in communication with the aliens, and met with the Vril. The Vril was a secret underground group of Satan worshippers, basically, and they made a deal with these aliens. So, that was the theory I had for a year until I found proof. Until I realized that the Nazi death marches are in the shape of Orion. And I was like, oh,
okay.
fuck.
You're like, this is too many coincidences.
So that's what they did. They traded the Jewish people for fucking technology, and they built the Nazi death camps in the shape of Orion as an homage to Orion, to pay respect to Orion. And I believe they targeted the Jews because Moses, 5,000 years before, led the Jews out of Egypt under Orion rule.
Whoa.
Because Orion's belt aligns to the Egyptian pyramids.
Wow. Okay, so a lot of coincidences that go back to Orion.
It just makes sense. Yeah, right. So what happened was the United States lost World War II in Antarctica. There was a UFO group that was down in Antarctica working with the aliens from Orion, and Admiral Byrd took the entire Pacific Fleet down to Antarctica in 1947 and was attacked by these alien UFOs, and the Nazi UFOs captured, brought to a hole in the middle of the earth where there was a city, and told by the aliens, never come back here.
How do you know there's a city in the middle of the earth?
He wrote about it.
Okay.
He wrote about it in his diary.
Is this something that people can go and find now?
Yes. It's on my website.
If you go
if you go into Nazi, it's under Nazi. You'll see Operation High Jump is what they called it. Now, so what's really been going on here is that World War I and World War II was created by the elite to stop the spread of communist Russia into Europe, because the elite didn't want communism in Europe. They didn't want communism at all. So they funded the shit out of Germany to act as a doorstop to stop the spread of communist Russia into Europe.
Wow.
And in the Second World War, that's why Germany stood up so fast after 20 years, after a world war, after losing a world war, stood up 20 years later and was like back in action as one of the strongest armies in the world. That's how they did it, because these elite have been behind the scenes going, all right, we got a lot of money from the war. We got a lot of technology from the war. This was great all the way around. And these stupid people had no idea what was going on, really. And were willing to fight to the death for their freedom or whatever. And that's what this was. That's what it really was. It was to stop the spread of communist Russia. Now, history repeats itself once it's not known. And because we didn't know about Orion and this adrenochrome trade that the Nazis did, the United States military did the same thing.
Whoa.
That's why they built the identical railroads in the shape of Orion in secret, because they've been working down there, trading them for technology. And what really happened was Rothschild and his friends have been behind the whole fucking scene.
Big banking families. Yeah.
In America, with all the money. And the military's like, oh yeah, sure, we'll do whatever you want,
So what,
because you
like,
guys
what aliens are basically like leaving ships behind, like, because I know Bob Lazar was like, I saw his documentary.
Well,
He was working on Area 51. They're like, oh, they have these alien spacecraft, and we were trying to reverse engineer them. Is there a link to that then, from what you're
yes.
saying?
So what's been going on here is that our world has been under control by the Orion Group, and the elite, the Rothschild and his friends, the Illuminati, worship Orion, the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye comes from Orion. So
which is also the eye that they scoop out, right? With these bodies
no, that's different.
That's different. Okay.
Yeah. So the black eye, when you see people with the black eye, that's the Satan.
Underneath, or like, I'm not sure which side it's on. I thought that was a side effect from adrenochrome.
No. That's just a symbolism. Symbolism will be their downfall. This is their fucking symbolism that will be their downfall. Having black eyes to signify the all-seeing eye, the alien being from Orion, who I believe is a mare, Miracle. Oh God, a female in charge of the whole thing. Matriarchy. There it is.
There we go.
I believe it's a matriarchy behind the Orion Group. So I believe it's the Orion Queen is what I've heard them call her. But yeah, it's very complex, and I'm like dead serious about this. There's just too much fucking evidence. We have too much evidence.
So the idea is that like the Holocaust was basically a way for those in power to basically trade bodies for technology, right? If I'm getting this right. And then perhaps there were plans to
I don't know how they did it.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like if humans are being mutilated by aliens, why aren't we seeing more evidence of this?
Because they've been covering it up.
But why wouldn't we find them just randomly around? Or like, were you talking about that they have specific hunting grounds?
We find cattle all the fucking time, all the time. And the other reason is that these people have been feeding them.
Yikes.
Like Hillary Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, with all the children going missing, and all these stories about, the military saved thousands of children out of the deep underground military bases.
Right.
Why were they down there?
Wow.
Where were they going?
Well, I just thought that was part of like the child and human, like the sex trafficking, basically. So that's all linked into it too.
They've been doing it for decades, 70 years.
Wow.
And they built the deep underground military bases back in the 60s, and they've been working on expanding, So, okay.
Did you want to go into like good aliens, bad aliens?
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody listening to this is going to be like, holy shit, what do we do?
There's a lot of information, but I'm dead serious. I mean, I've been studying this for the past 3 years, and I went through everything and realized that maybe about 80% of what's out there is total fucking bullshit. But there's 20% that's solid stuff. I mean, I figured out how aliens speak. Do you know how aliens talk?
No, I have no idea.
They sound like fucking birds.
Wow.
They sound like birds.
That's kind of delightful.
They make bird-like calls. So it's wild. I've got like 5-6 different species of aliens making bird-like calls on video. So
You're sure they're not birds?
Huh? Well, I think that they
probably go, what is there a lot of noise of on Earth? It's bird noises.
I think they evolved from birds.
Wow.
So, it's not only that, but I've typed about a dozen species of alien beings from picture and video evidence. I've matched 47 different UFOs to each other. Wow. So like if I see a vehicle and I've seen it somewhere before, I would start matching the vehicles and be like, that's the same species, that's the same aliens. Those are the same species of aliens. So unfortunately, Facebook deleted all my information.
Oh, did you save it?
Well, I have it on an external hard drive, but they wanted $1,500 to fix it, and I'm like, fuck that shit. That's crazy. $1,500 to retrieve the information. Wow.
What? Oh, from Facebook back into your computer?
No. It was off of an external hard drive that I backed up everything. I fried it because I plugged it into the wrong adapter, and so it's very expensive to get fixed. But Facebook deleted my website. I've had like 40,000 followers, and
damn, what was it called? Your Facebook page?
The Orion Lines.
Damn.
Facebook.com/the Orion Lines, which I'm waiting because Facebook has COVID and they're unable to reply to emails.
Yeah, it's just bullshit.
So I'm like, oh, okay, that's why you deleted my page. Okay.
Yeah.
So they deleted like half of my website, and then I had to go back. And so anyway, okay. So why does the U.S. military have all these crazy UFOs? And why are there stories of all these UFOs flying around, going around, checking out military bases and flying around mostly nuclear tests, nuclear missile silos, and like opening up the doors and checking them out? Well, that's been the fucking positive side of this balance out there.
Because they're getting worried, right?
Because like, they're fucking there.
Didn't we start seeing more alien sightings after the first nuclear bomb? Like after Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Because then the aliens were like, whoa, what's going on? You know?
Yeah, they were like, what the fuck are these people doing? And you know, they knew that Orion was here screwing around, and they were spying on us and the Orion Group. Because they're fucking nasty beings. I mean, this is why the aliens have been kept secret this whole time. Well, they've been eating us.
That's alarming.
In
very
secret,
scary.
In secret. And these men, these fucking men, these businessmen have been sitting behind the scenes going, all right, well, how can we get this technology for us? So, okay, this is what happened. I believe 9/11 happened because to hide the $2.3 trillion that Rumsfeld the day before found missing,
right,
on 9/10,
and all the docs were in, like, where all the documents were either in that part of the Pentagon or in that part of the Twin Towers.
Well, World Trade Center 7.
Okay.
That's where the CIA documents were.
Right.
But it was all leading up to the Orion Group, the aliens from Orion, and what they've been doing in the background with $2.3 trillion, which today is now $23 trillion.
Jesus.
So it's you know, that was at $2.3 trillion, that was $8,000 for each and every man, woman, and child in America. Now that it's, you know, now it's about $80,000. So it's about $100,000 per person that we are in debt because the military was like, spend all of it, spend, you know, whatever the fuck they were doing, building deep underground military bases in the shape of identical to the fucking Nazi death camps in the shape of Orion. What the fuck were these people doing back there? Agenda 21. It was the only way to be like, all right, the shit's going to come out. They're going to find out about the aliens. They're going to find out about what the fuck we did in Nazi Germany and what the fuck we've been doing. Only one way to stop this, and that's kill everybody.
Wait, how did you make the connection to Agenda 21? Because I have talked about that with actually recently with Off the Grid Ryan, and it's basically this big UN plan about sustainability and a lot of other buzzwords that are really the UN code for globalism.
Q has said many countries, many governments feed the eye, the all-seeing eye.
Whoa. Okay.
And so I knew what that meant. I knew what they were feeding them exactly. I know why all of those flags surround Antarctica down there. Have you ever seen the UN with all the flags around Antarctica?
No, I feel like I don't hear anything about Antarctica.
Yeah, they all have flags down there surrounding the center of Antarctica. Why?
Yeah,
well,
why?
Secretly, they've been feeding these fucking aliens people
On Antarctica.
and who live in Antarctica. So if have you ever seen the caudus, which is the medical caudus? It's two snakes.
Oh yes, yeah.
Coiled around
A staff.
What that is was the staff, and what that is two snakes, Alpha Draconian from Draco and Orion, going after the pineal gland.
Wow.
And that's what our medical insignia is. This is what the American Cancer Society is. So we have a group of human beings who've been here, and that's what the balance is all about. So half of this elite group have been, yeah, come on in. We're, look, you take whoever you want. You let us do whatever the fuck we want. Like we get to fuck children and do adrenochrome too. That's great. So come on in. We love it here. And the other side of the balance is like, whoa, morality. That's important. Jesus Christ taught peace and love and the golden rule, which is to see others as yourself. Which in Buddhism, we are each other.
Yeah.
There's no separation. We are nature.
Yeah.
So there's been this war between the elite, and that's what the silent war is all about. Now, Trump getting into the White House has really fucked up their plans because these globalists have been preparing for us to be adrenochrome harvested.
Which is frightening, which is crazy. Because so that means what?
Terrifying.
All of us? How much of us? Like in this plan, right?
That means that next year, in a month, that's when this whole fucking thing was going to come down, that the U.S. military was preparing for it. They built all the FEMA camps. They have the zombie apocalypse protocol. Guess who the fucking zombies are?
The aliens.
All of us. All of the people.
Oh, we are.
We have no idea what's going on here. We have no idea about the fucking aliens. We're all fucking hypnotized, going to work. Yeah.
We're like, aliens. A lot of people are like, the aliens don't exist. Blah.
Yeah, right. And that's why we have something called the zombie apocalypse, or they have something called the zombie apocalypse. Now, this is what happened. The military was like, all right, we have a fucking problem here. They found out what happened in World War II during that time, what was going on there for real, that they were doing this fucking trade with the aliens, and they were getting incredible vehicles, because of it. And so the military was like, all right. And I think this is what happened. The real good people in the military were like, come on in, take your enemy in.
Mm-hmm.
Your enemy, you keep your friends close, but your enemy's closer. Like, come on in, come on in. Here, we give you a place to live. We'll feed you. That's what they were doing. They were feeding them children. And they were like, oh, the Satan worshipers and the human side with the whole political structure, they're all like, yeah, we got this in the bag. All these stupid fucks, they're all fucked. Right? All those zombies out there, they have no idea what the fuck. They actually call us the damned. Because we have no idea what's going on. Yeah, and the Satan worshipers today, Marilyn Manson, the lead singer from Tool, Marilyn Manson came out and said, prepare, astral vampires. And I'm like, motherfucker knew.
How does he know? Why does Marilyn Manson know about this stuff?
He's a Satan worshiper. He's at the top of the food chain with them. He's on that side of the balance, the satanic side. Who is the satanic side? Oh, the Orion Group. Well, that's funny because I fucking revealed the entire thing. The Orion Group. The Nazca Lines are fucking proof that aliens are real and they come from Orion. It's unfortunate because nobody knows how to read the stars, and nobody has come along and been like, "Yeah, I don't know about you. Let me see if you're right." And then, oh, he is right. You know, nobody's like worked it out and been like, "Yeah, is he right or not? Did he really solve the Nazca Lines?" No one's ever asked that fucking question yet. And I'm sitting here like screaming up and down, trying to get people's attention. And most people are going, "You're fucking nuts, dude."
Well, you got my attention. I wonder if it's because, like, you know, you do your videos. Yeah. Sometimes you don't have a shirt on. You know what I mean? I wonder if people like look at your videos and go, "Oh, this guy's crazy." You know what I mean?
Well, it's made me crazy. Being ignored. Being ignored. It had literally made me fucking nuts. I mean, it's really destroyed me as a human being. This research, this work has really destroyed me as a human being. Because it's been so, there's been nothing I can do to save us.
It's like all consuming, right?
From Agenda 21. Yeah, all I think about is fucking Orion every single day. I mean, I cry myself to sleep at night. I do, because I hate it so much. Because I'm waiting for it to be over. And I think what's going to really, end it is getting published. I think that these 3 years have been a very long 3 years for me. And I think that getting published might actually be the key to this. I'm still alive.
Yeah, true.
I'm still alive.
So Ryushin, take us through how you link Agenda 21, which is, out there as like kind of a UN plan about sustainability and, it's supposed to be all good stuff, right? So how do you link that with supposedly this plan to kill off a large amount of human beings for the aliens? Like, how did you make that connection?
Well, there are many different ways to see that. It makes sense considering what they've been doing to children with feeding them, so that's a big problem. They wanted to keep covering this thing up. And they figured, well, they're going to find out about it. So we're just going to have to kill them all. And the military was like, this is great. We got the aliens pouring in. And I believe they were pouring in their population into the deep underground military bases, preparing. And I believe that they built the Space Force as an alien invasion.
What?
Until the double cross happened.
What was the double cross?
See, I've been paying fucking attention. I'm the only one sitting back here going, all right, where's that fucking information? Where's that information? Just give me something. Well, something leaked on December 7th, 2018, where these guys picked up, there's an unprecedented amount of troops at Area 51. Lizard people are coming out of the fucking ground.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, what? Lizard people? What are you talking about? Fucking lizard people are coming out of the ground. So I took that information, I kept it, and I'm like, wow, okay, this is great. I love that piece of information. 12 days later, the Pentagon pyramid happened.
What's that?
On December 19th, 2018, a gigantic pyramid-shaped craft appeared above the Pentagon at 4:00 in the morning, hovered above the Pentagon. We have 3 different videos of different perspectives, different videos of the fucking craft in the sky, hovering, twisting, and turning above the Pentagon. That told me that information that was leaked out a few weeks earlier was true. That told me that the aliens showed up going, what the fuck are you doing?
Whoa.
That told me that the U.S. military double-crossed them. Now, in late 2019, and not only that, but in March 2019, the United States military, for the first time ever, to fly over Area 51. I believe they did that so they could check out what's been going on, over Area 51. Because we've never had closer friends with the Russians.
I love this. Wait, so why were the lizard people coming out of the ground again? Were they just like wanted to get some air?
No, I think that they were down there, and I think that the U.S. military finally double-crossed them.
Like let them out by accident?
No, they were killing them.
Whoa.
Because the CIA, the black hats.
Right.
They're
the white hats are the good people, that I learned.
That's right. And the black hats are the bad people, right? Well, that's what the balance is too. They're Satan worshipers and they're Catholics or whatever you want to call it. So these CIA people have been letting them in here to prepare for the invasion.
Jesus.
And I think that we were all about to be adrenochrome harvested, most of us, and that's why we're all fat, and that's why the temperature, the global warming is happening. They were adjusting the planet for them.
Why adjusting? Why make the earth warmer? What does that have to do with our supposed, like, if they're going to harvest us for adrenochrome and organs and such, what does the earth being warmer have to do with that?
They were going to live here.
Oh God.
Yeah, they were terraforming Earth. That's what this has all been about. Global warming started after World War II.
Aliens are the cause of global warming, not our hairspray, not carbon, not fossil fuels.
We haven't needed the wheel or paying for or cars at all, or airplanes, since aliens gave Tesla or showed Tesla their vehicles back in 1890.
Jesus.
Did you know that?
I have known that like there is technology that is so far beyond like what everyday people are using, but you don't see it anywhere. So it's like,
it's
all right.
on my website. And what happened was, so aliens were fucking with Tesla, for sure. I mean, they were showing him his vehicles, and he was drawing their vehicles. He was drawing UFOs.
Wow.
And so they showed him the technology, and the elite buried him. And when he died, the FBI went into his New York apartment or hotel room or whatever he was staying when he died, grabbed all this shit and sat on it for 80 years under the guise of national security.
Wow.
And what was and they just released all that information, and he was drawing fucking UFOs. How did he get that information? He was showed their fucking ships. He was showed the UFOs. And so we haven't needed to pay for gasoline, oil, or electricity this whole fucking time.
Oh, man.
This whole time. Electricity, gasoline, oil, none of that shit was ever necessary. The car, an airplane, none of that shit. It was all given to Tesla decades before they even achieved flight and invented the car.
So we could be on just hovering vehicle. We could have been on hovering vehicles this whole time.
Yeah, at the turn of the century, 1900.
When I was a little girl, I really wanted something called moon shoes in the 80s or 90s. They were like these little trampoline shoes. I wanted them so bad. My parents wouldn't get them for me. And like I was just looking at them like the other day because like the Amazon Christmas catalogs came out, and I was like, oh man, I really wanted these moon shoes. Like I really went back to my childhood. And then I'm looking at them. I'm like, oh, they were so shitty. Like you're just strapped in.
That sucks.
And they weren't expensive or anything, but I spend a lot of time looking up shit I wanted as a kid and seeing how expensive it really was. And then being like, what the fuck is wrong with my parents? Like they just didn't want to shell out $30, but
yeah.
Sorry, I was triggered.
That's okay.
So I'm just like, I'm thinking of the moon shoes as like not all that impressive. And then look at our cars, our planes. So apparently there's like dope tech out there that no one's using except for the government. We've been hoodwinked. But I'd rather be hoodwinked than be eaten by an alien. So I'm sure people hearing this are like, oh shit, I don't want to be eaten. So apparently this plan was disrupted somehow. And
by Trump. I mean, this whole time since Kennedy was assassinated, and that's why they killed Kennedy, because he was going to release what small information he knew about the aliens. And not only that, but he was about to do what Lincoln almost did and got killed for, which was the gold standard for the US dollar. Make it, gold standard, which would increase the value of the dollar to the gold standard, to the gold, whatever gold is, which the elite didn't want.
They don't want a gold-backed currency. Well, what do they want? They want what? Crypto? They want
They want their system to be maintained as it is. And it's failing us. It's killing us. It's killing us because, and this whole thing was never meant to last. This wasn't meant to last. They were planning this whole Agenda 21 for decades. And they've had every president since Kennedy has been working for them until Trump came along and fucked up everything. And, the U.S. military wanted to get rid of Obama. Wow. And do it in a whole military operation until they found Trump to do it legitimately.
Wow. So
that's why they got Trump involved, to save humanity, to save the people from being fucking adrenochrome harvested and having the double cross happen.
Let's say if Trump knows all this, how do you not let that slip? Do you know what I mean? How do you not, if you're someone like him, who I do believe, especially after going to the rallies in DC this past weekend, it was the Million MAGA March, the walk away rallies, nothing but love, nothing but just people who love each other, their country, their freedoms. I was my mind was really blown about the whole thing. It was amazing. And so you have Trump, who's man of the people, right? He loves everyone. He loves his country. Why, if you know all the stuff that he knows, how do you not let that slip? Because what, he would look crazy?
Yeah, he would look like me. Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But no. I honestly think that the positive aliens are going to show up with Jesus Christ for real. Okay. And this whole fake alien invasion thing has been all total bullshit.
Who are the good aliens?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Let's just say there's a positive side and there's a negative side. So I've heard the positive side showed up in 2016, kicking out the Alpha Draconians.
Whoa. So wait, the Draconians and Orion,
the entire Illuminati.
Wait, so the Alpha Draconians and the Orion, they are what? Are there types of aliens, or these are old, Illuminati parties? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hi.
Yeah, it's kind of in and out. Okay.
Oh no. Okay. We're almost done. We're back. So the Alpha Draconians and the Orions, are these two types of aliens, two species? Okay.
Yeah, the Alpha Draconians are what I call the BFLs, the big fucking lizards. They're 15 to 20 foot tall fucking reptilian beings. Yikes. They're big. And they, allegedly, there were two of them here, and they were told by the positive beings showed up, okay? They surrounded the entire solar system with a shield to block all these beings who have been in here fucking around. And they're actually going after. I have video of a positive alien being, it's there I know that the positive alien beings have a globe, spheres. They travel in balls that look like little suns. And you can see this thing with flashing lights all around this thing, and it's chasing Iron Man, a fucking alien in an Iron Man around, and they're chasing each other. So I knew from that video that there was an actual war going on between the aliens.
Wow.
Pretty fucking crazy, right?
It is pretty crazy.
So what happened was, so I've heard, is that by the positive aliens showing up, getting rid of the Alpha Draconians, really weakened the entire Illuminati structure, because they're the side of the balance who is all satanic.
Right.
Rothschilds.
When did this happen?
2016.
2016.
Now, in
wow.
that same area in 2016, Pizzagate happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Pizzagate was extremely significant. Not only did it reveal the entire satanic side of the balance, like secretly what they've been doing back there, which changed my whole perspective of the whole political thing, by the way. For my whole life, I voted liberal.
Me too.
I'm very liberal views. But after I read John Podesta's fucking emails of them fucking children and adrenochrome harvesting children, fuck that shit, no way.
Yeah, no way.
My entire thing. And, we saw Trump coming into office. He was like, I took a shit in my hand, and they're like, yeah, come on into office, right? So it was like, I think that he made himself be really fucking stupid, coming into the White House, real fucking stupid idiot. And then halfway through, all of a sudden, he starts fucking changing into this, like, we're getting fucking serious here. And when I saw that change in him, I knew something was up, especially with Q coming out. Like, the first time that anyone has ever told the truth on, coming out of the government like that.
Right.
The scream to the people is extremely significant.
Yeah, it is.
So it's not about D versus R. It's about the satanic side versus the side of the light. That's what this is all about. And it just so happens that they're fucking alien worshipers. God and the devil, they're aliens.
Who knew? No
one did. No one did except for these elite who've been playing this balancing act. And that's what's going on, I believe, throughout the universe. They have this balancing act going on thousands, millions of worlds.
Really? So we're not the only planet with human beings or humans-ish beings?
Yeah.
I would love to see what other planets are up to.
I think they're doing this on billions of worlds.
Almost like a Star Wars.
and here's the deal, okay? This is the deal between God and the devil. Can they wake up or not? Okay? Can they realize what the fuck is going on here? And I think that's the deal. Can they wake up and realize that, oh, somebody's been here eating us, and we're not okay with that? We do not give consent to that, because quitacit constantiri, which means it's Latin for those who are silent give consent. And I think that that's what this is. And I made a whole shit stink of them eating us. I went down to the Pentagon with pictures of the human mutilated bodies with the words "fuck you" on them, like "fuck you."
How did that go? How did that go over?
Go fuck yourselves. You guys been eating us?
Did anybody talk to you about that? Did anybody?
Well, the cops showed up, and I'm like, just taking some pictures. They're like, all right. I'm just taking some pictures. Like, all right. And so that was that. But I got pictures of me in front of the White House with the Orion lines, solving the Nazca lines. So, but, that's the problem. No one believes me. People look at that and they'll go, what is that? You have to really go through the webpage, my webpage, orionlines.com, in order to understand what the fuck's going on.
Well, I did. Like, there was a day where I discovered your website, and I watched the whole long video.
Yeah.
And it was like, of course, I was doing it at like 2, 3 in the morning, and I was so fucking scared. I was like, if this is true, like, I don't know. It really, I was like, I have to talk to this guy. And then you were like, well, this plan is now swapped and fucked. And now they're thinking that they'll try to, you know, when they get Trump out, they'll make a try for the year 2030.
Well, that's a different story. They're trying for Agenda 21. They just don't understand the dynamic. I don't think they understand the dynamics of what's going on. Okay, so let me get back to Pizzagate. We're still in like 2016.
Okay, right. Let's go back.
So back in Pizzagate, James Alefantis is actually a D. Rothschild. The Rothschilds from France. And so James Alefantis is actually a Rothschild, and he's pictured in the family photograph with Lord Jacob Rothschild, who is also known as the Pinder, or the pinnacle of the Draco, or the penis of the dragon. He is the main representative here on Earth for the Alpha Draconian.
But isn't he dead? Isn't that
PFLs? No, he's 87.
Wow.
He's still alive. He's in England.
Damn.
But he's the main representative for the Alpha Draconians here on Earth. He is known as the Pinder. And James Alefantis is pictured 5 people away from him.
Yeah, I saw that picture. It's on your website.
So it's not only that, but Comet Ping Pong.
I went to Comet Ping Pong.
I did too. I have pictures of me outside of Comet Ping Pong with the picture of him standing in the family photograph. Like, here you go. Wow. But I also have his mural in there. Do you know what his mural is?
No.
It's an alien playing ping pong with a human being.
Oh, wow.
That told me everything. That told me, oh my God, they've been fucking around with the positive alien beings. They've been at war with the positive alien beings, and that's been their big, you know. So that mural told me everything.
Did you go inside Comet Ping Pong? Did you go inside the pizza place?
No, I didn't, because I could see when I went to that place, it was very dark. I saw a lot of dark energy, like darkness pouring out of the windows, because I can see like spiritual shit. So I could see that negative, like, I just did not want to go in there.
It felt weird. And there were people eating outside. There was like, it was like lined by bushes, really? You know, it was like kind of, I was literally just there on Sunday because we were in DC for the march. I
saw your pictures.
My boyfriend was like, do you want to go past Comet Ping Pong? I was like, yes.
Yeah, of course I do, right? Yeah, there you are, right? I know. Well, the reason why he named it Comet Ping Pong is because some say a comet will fall from the sky. It's the end of the world. It's the aliens showing up and harvesting everybody.
Oh God.
That's why he named it Comet.
And he knows this because of what his family.
Rothschild.
The Rothschilds all know about this.
Satan worshippers. And who is the Satan worshippers? They're aliens from Orion.
So they think being a Satan worshiper is the way out, the way to not be eaten. That's their thinking, you know, like if I've heard they are reptilians, but I've also heard, I could also understand that they have been allowing these, I mean, it's not like necessarily allowing the aliens to be here. They have no choice, I don't think, you know. They're super intelligent alien beings with incredible technology. So how could you say no to that? And I think they were like, yeah, we get all this money and control and power. And the aliens, you know, take a couple of thousand human beings here and there. Jesus. So
I think they were like, you know, this is great for us. And we're just going to keep this going. And it's now all revealed. It's now all revealed. With me solving the Nazca Lines and then realizing that the Nazi death camps are in the shape of Orion, and that the secret deep underground military bases are identical to the fucking Nazi death camps, which means the United States, I found out that the United States military is guilty of genocide.
Wasn't Trump trying to blow up? Wasn't he blowing up some of the dumbs?
Yes, it was. They were all being blown up by earthquakes. The beginning of this year,
right? But we know they were just explosions
of deep underground. What were they blowing up down there? What were they blowing up down there? Are you there?
Yeah, yeah. Like, because I know there was like a big tunnel, there was a big, well, there's a drug tunnel between Mexico and California. And then there's also like, right, the ones that go into Nevada and like the canyons and stuff, like out in the desert. That's a whole nother
Yeah,
situation.
that's where the CIA has been drug running, human smuggling with children. Now, there's also a girl who came forward about Uncle Sam's Snuff Factory. Have you heard about that?
No. Sigh.
Her name is Katie Groves. She comes out and says, I was a part of a child snuff ring uh, run by the United States military
Whoa.
at Fort Hood, Killeen, Texas. Well, she said she lived in Austin. She recalled the drives being about 45 minutes to get to this place, but it was a deep underground military base. And she said that she witnessed thousands of murders of children, that they were filming her having sex with other children.
Yikes.
And then forcing her to kill the children on video so they could sell it on the black web. And then she said, well, not only that, but I've seen very prominent women ordering children of color off of menus to have them cooked in something called the Cannibal's Kitchen.
Oh, what's her face? Abramovic?
Yeah,
Marina?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spirit cooking.
Well, yeah, but when I saw her, when she gave that her testimony of 10 minutes, I could feel her heart. I could feel her presence. I knew that she was true. I knew what she was saying was true. And it was just like, holy fuck. Not only that, but we find out that there have been an alarming amount of deaths at Fort Hood since 2016. What's going on here?
Who's dying? Like what?
Soldiers
are dying
at an alarming rate. They've been killing off people to cover up what's been going on down there.
So if they find somebody finds out, then they get axed.
Well, I think it's a big cover up, and I think that's what's been going on at Fort Hood. I think this whole child genocide thing are the true crimes against humanity, which we haven't been told about yet, because they've been compiling all this evidence to use against them, and Hillary Clinton with all these, the crimes against humanity and crimes against children will unite all humanity. What are they talking about? Well, they've been feeding fucking aliens children for technology. That's going to be the icing on the cake. And guess who's the only one talking about it?
Q? You? Who do you think Q is? Any ideas?
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, Q has been dead on with everything that has been coming out. Especially what got me involved with Q was the Looking Glass device. Once he said the Looking Glass device, I knew. I was like, what? Looking Glass? He just brought up fucking time travel.
Oh, wow.
I realized that having time travel actually changes the nature of reality itself. We are no longer restricted by being moment-to-moment beings. Having time travel enables us to be in moment-to-moment in any moment, changing the nature of reality itself. It's the reality that these aliens are on, because they all have time travel.
And it's almost like if you have time travel, it's like you can't ever make a mistake. You can always just go back and redo it.
No, that's not how it works.
No?
You have to have universal time laws. Oh. Yeah, if you go back and you start fucking with shit, it gets all fucked up.
I saw Back to the Future. I know the deal.
That's right. That's exactly what would happen. Shit would get all fucked up and you'd return back into a totally different reality.
Wow.
So, you can go back, but the only thing you can do is observe.
Okay.
Go back and observe and watch all these people do all this fucking sick shit, bring it back into the present moment and show everybody.
Why is November 30th so important?
That's when this artificial moon comes into our orbit and stays here until May.
Artificial moon?
Yes. Or it's either an artificial moon or a space junk. And I don't think it's either of that. I think it's an alien ship.
Like a Death Star?
No, I think it's the positive aliens. I think they cleaned house years ago, and they're waiting for the human race to catch up with, cornering the fucking deep state.
Wow.
Because that's what their whole thing has been about.
Right.
So I think that it's all going to be revealed very soon. I believe that they created Jesus, right? They created us, the creator gods, or the creator aliens who created us, screwed with Jesus, fixed him after being dead for 3 days with their incredible technology, took him on board their spacecraft, time traveled into the future, and that's his second coming.
Whoa. So it would be like double Easter.
A double Easter. So I believe that's what happened, but I knew they had time travel I knew they were using time travel too because of St. John and the Revelations chapter 12.
In the Bible. I don't read the Bible.
Yes.
I got to get back into the Bible.
And the Great Star Alignment, which happened on September 17th, September 21st or 24th, 2017. And that was the woman with child, Virgo, with Jupiter, with a crown of 12, the moon at her feet, and the sun at her back. And when that star alignment happened in September of 2017, I knew that they took St. John, brought him into the future, showed him a possible outcome, and then returned him back into the past so he could write about it.
Wow.
That star alignment happens every 7,000 years.
Wow.
How did a man who lived 1,500 years ago know a star alignment that was thousands of years before his time? That was going to happen in 1,500 years. One possible explanation. They abducted him, brought him into the future, showed him a possible outcome, and then returned him.
Wow.
So I knew that star alignment was super important.
So it's almost like the good aliens are like the ghost of Christmas future. They're like taking you.
Yeah, they're screwing around. They're messing around. But the negative side is also messing around. That's what this whole war has been about. They've been fighting each other for thousands of years. And I think that this was the only way to bring us about.
Wow.
To bring us up to this level of what's going on outside of our planet, our human realm.
Existence. Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy, but all the evidence, it's just where it points.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that that the human race would not be pawns to the aliens. Like you would, of course, that a lot of us are dumb for sure. A lot of us are like not ready to handle this kind of information if it's true, which like you have certainly a lot of evidence to support it. It's like you would hope that we could get along with the aliens, that maybe I could invite some to like a comedy show. I don't know. I just would hope.
Well, there are positive aliens and there are negative aliens. And there have been positive human beings who've been protecting the human race. And there have been negative, nasty human beings who have been doing nothing more than fucking us. And I think the only way that they saw to get out of the crimes against humanity were to cap the entire human race. And that's what Q has said. Q has said, wait until the people find out about like a killing off of the extermination, a planned extermination. And he said that. So I know what that is. That's Agenda 21. And that's why Trump has been in the people collecting all of them.
Spending what? Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, sorry. That's why Trump has been fighting these people, collecting all the evidence, and why Biden has been trying to get into the White House. They're trying to get Biden in the White House because they thought that she would never lose.
Right.
Well, that's been their whole setup. Just wait until Agenda 21, and then they can release the alien invasion upon us. It just so happens that Trump got in there. The U.S. military did a double cross against the aliens, and now we're at Agenda 30, which I believe is a nuclear war with China.
Oh.
And I believe that will kill everybody on the face of the earth. So 10
yeah.
years.
You think we have 10 years left?
We got 10 years. Well, yeah. Yeah, I do, because Agenda 21 is not going to happen. They blew up all the deep underground military base. They killed all the aliens.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Even if they get Joe Biden in the office, which is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
No? You don't think it's going to happen?
No, they're going to bring all the evidence to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's going to weigh the evidence and go, okay, yeah, there was this extraordinary amount of voter fraud. And then they're going to allow the House of Representatives to do a re-vote. And it's going to be each state. There's 50 states, and each state is going to be allowed to vote. And the majority of those states, 37 of the states, are Republican.
Right.
Are Republican, in Republican control. So I seriously doubt that Joe Biden will ever see the inside of that office again.
Yeah, yet they've been pushing like, oh, let him in early. Let him get the briefings. They already have like,
let him in. Yeah, well, meanwhile, this whole fucking time, they've been trying to get him into office in order to pull this Agenda 21 bullshit. That's what they're going for. That's why they want him in office. That's why they want him in office, because these little gray fuckers were about to show up and start abducting people.
It's really scary.
The rest of us were going to reach this what do they call it? I want to say synchronicity, but I don't think that's it. Maybe it is synchronicity. It's where the AI gets incorporated into the human being.
Oh yeah, like not subhuman, but like
they're cyborgs, basically.
Yeah. Transhumanist agenda.
They were going to use this, take over the human brain and use us as basically slave robots.
Right. Put chips in us. That's why people are like,
don't
get the vaccines has chips in them. And yeah.
And that doesn't matter. With that shit, we've had cell phones for decades.
Right.
And everyone has a cell phone. It's all being tracked. You're all being recorded. But as far as getting these brain implants, which will be the next big thing in the tech world, fusing the human being with the with tech AI, but that's what they were going for. They were going to harvest most of the people, and they were going to implant us with chips and turn us into mindless robots. Mindless robots.
That's so scary.
Just like the Greys. And the Greys are basically that same way. They're mindless robots, here to abduct us and do DNA testing and adrenochrome harvesting. It's fucking terrifying. And when the people find out the truth, that everything I've said is true, they're going to fucking panic. And it's very close now. It's very close because they introduced Space Force.
Yeah.
And the military got in front of the, Congress and started explaining to them what the fuck's been going on here. And they showed all those senators the human mutilations. I know they did. I know they briefed them on that information.
How do you know?
Because of Blumenthal.
Okay.
Senator Blumenthal. He got up and said, our adversaries know what they are doing. We know what they are doing. They know that we know what they are doing, but the American people have no idea. I think they'd be pretty alarmed.
I saw that. You know, now could people say that, oh, he's talking about China? No?
China's our adversary.
Hmm.
What does that mean? You know, that doesn't make any sense. If China's our adversary, then who are they? So our adversaries know what they are doing. Who are they? They're the fucking aliens. And what have they been doing? They've been fucking eating us. And why would the American public be fucking alarmed? They've been fucking eating us. They've been eating us this whole time. This whole time for thousands of years. They're the true source of human sacrifice and why it was being performed. That was going on in Mayan culture, Incan culture, Stonehenge, Egypt. You know, everywhere, all over the world. The Nazis did it. You know, we were doing it. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, and it's been very frustrating for me because, well, I'm nobody. I'm like a homeless bum who figured all this shit out and exposed the Orion Group and the United States military working with the aliens from Orion, catching the United States military doing genocide. So it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? I can't go to an attorney and be like, just go through all my evidence on my webpage. And if they did, maybe they would be like, wow, okay, you have a case here. But no one fucking believes me, which drives me fucking crazy. It drives me fucking nuts.
You need a drink.
I just want a vacation, and I want to get married to Emma Watson and just live my life in, you know, peace.
Emma Watson, if you're watching this,
I love you.
Oh,
I love Emma Watson.
She's adorable.
I saw Emma Watson and fell in love with her instantly while I was on my whole rampage of attacking the White House and the Joint Chiefs of Staff and NASA.
Where'd you see her?
She was just on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Like, holy shit, you're hot, right?
She's pretty cute.
And I started showing her all my work.
Like sending it to her? Like DMing it?
Like, yeah, posting it all over her page. There's no way that, and I was also posting like cock memes and stuff.
All right. She probably didn't take two. No, maybe she was turned off by that. I don't know.
No, I think she likes it. I was doing it in a conspicuous way. I was taking rockets. I was taking big rockets and saying, you know, posting, "Hi Emma" on the big rockets.
Okay. Yeah, like, everyone flirts differently.
Yeah, but I was being a terrible nightmare.
Oh. Just don't stalk her or anything.
No. No. Anyway, listen. So I actually forced NASA to admit that tiny super intelligent alien beings may be real by posting the images all over their fucking webpage.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I forced them to say that. I actually made NASA admit that aliens are real.
They should hire you.
And fuck them. They've been behind this whole fucking thing, hiding the truth. So
what can people do? Like, what can any of us do? It sounds like it could be hopeless.
Yeah, this is what it is. It's information warfare. What is the information? Well, I solved the fucking Nazca Lines, revealing the Orion Group, allowing me to figure out World War II, the Nazi death camps in the shape of Orion, and the secret deep underground military bases also identical to the Nazi death camps in the shape of Orion, paid for this time with taxpayers' money. And what were they doing? They've been feeding fucking aliens, children, adrenochrome harvesting. They've been eating human beings. When people find out about that, it's going to destroy society. No one's going to be able to trust anyone ever again. And, you know, it's just a nightmare. It goes on and on and on and on. There's so much evidence. It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous that this is happening, that the aliens are here, that they're and that this is, you know, this is all, it's all part of it. It just needed to take someone awake to take the puzzle pieces and put them together in order to see the picture. Now, some of the puzzle pieces are missing, but I can make out the picture. And this is what the picture says. We were taken over by hostile aliens who've been using us as slave, food, and drug source for thousands of years. And that this is what's going on here.
I don't want to be eaten. Do you? What do we do?
I don't want to be fucking, no, they would have a really hard time, you know, trying to take me. They would have a real hard time. I've been waiting for them too.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've got a knife. I sleep with a knife in my hands.
Oh, I bet you do. I had a feeling.
I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for them to show up so I could shove that fucking knife, my 12-inch knife, right underneath their chin.
Aliens.
I'm pissed.
I bet.
I'm a Zen Buddhist monk. Peace, love, and light and harmony and all that fucking shit. Yeah, I'm ready to fucking kill these things.
Yeah, but I don't want to get eaten either. Not in that way.
Not that way.
Not in the fun way. Not in the weekend, Friday night kind of way. Ryushin, this was fascinating and amazing. And where can people find you to learn more? Are you on social media?
No, they deleted everything. My YouTube, gotcha. Twitter, Facebook, Parler, everything.
You're not on
They just
Parler?
deleted everything. No, they deleted me on Parler. They don't like my human mutilation videos.
Oh,
they don't like me going around saying that people are being eaten by aliens. Not only that, but I have evidence of these you know, these pictures of children in terribly suggestive ways, you know, being used as sex slaves to men, businessmen.
Yeah, that's pretty disturbing. Yeah,
but people have to see that information in order to know that it's real. They have to see the information. They have to see it
to get it.
So anyway, yes, they can go to my website, which is theorionlines.com.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Ryushin.
Be well.
Thanks.